We started our annual Living Off the Land challenge at the beginning of November this year. This is a personal challenge we undertake every year to see how long we can go comfortably eating only food that we've grown, foraged, or hunted, with a few exceptions like cooking oil and salt. This year, I've also personally allotted myself a small amount of locally produced flour because I decided I don't want to go the whole winter without eating bread here and there, and I make the rules. We're also eating some chocolate now and again because in our household, that is an essential nutrient. Anyway, the challenge has been extra challenging in some ways this year because we're in the midst of renovating an old barn apartment on the farm that we recently bought with our friends. So while we occasionally do things back in our old kitchen, for the most part, we're cooking all of our meals in a place that doesn't really have a kitchen. We've had a very unseasonably warm November this year, so the beginning of the month we did a lot of our cooking outside on a makeshift fireplace made from cinder blocks and an old oven rack. It worked out really well, and we made some really tasty things there. As per usual, our flour corn has been an invaluable ingredient, and we've had many a taco night, and morning, and afternoon.
In the day, the old people got the seats.
This one's a little bit, this needs the dry room. First tortillas at the new place. Clumped up in
Staircase is working pretty well.
I know, it's got multiple settings for different heights people. The tall person, they go up to this
State
step.
of the art.
The short person, they go into that one. Yes, it is state of the art.
There you go.
Two burners down. Challenge there, doing this outdoors.
Jordy, two at a time.
If you miss playing with Play-Doh as a child, make yourself some corn tortillas.
AKA real dough.
Yes. All right, so turn up the heat a little bit. Yeah. Yeah, I think this one's actually ready.
Jordan also hunted a deer from the property this month, which will go a long way in filling up our freezer with meat for the winter to come. There are a lot of deer in western Pennsylvania, so we also consider it important to keep the population well balanced, which is good for the overall health of the ecosystem and for the survival of our future garden. We plan on hunting a few from the land this year to share with our landmates and family. We never take killing an animal lightly. This year will provide us with many months of sustenance, and for that we are extremely thankful. Outside was a lot of fun, but the warm weather had to end at some point. After weeks spent insulating, putting in windows and doors, and starting to plaster the walls with clay from the property, the little barn apartment is finally starting to feel like a real home. We finished installing our wood stove just in time for the first big winter storm of the year, and nothing has felt cozier than curling up on the couch next to the fire while the wind howls outside. Just ask Moo Moo. Our wood stove has a nice flat top, which makes it pretty handy for cooking as well, and we've been experimenting with using that for making a lot of our meals. This week we tried making cornbread and chilindrón. For our first experiment in wood stove cookery, Jordan ground up some Bloody Butcher and Wapsi Valley grain corn, and then we made some cornbread. This is a simple recipe with just cornmeal, salt, a little baking powder for levity, and some broth and roasted pumpkin for moisture. The cast iron skillet got nice and hot on the wood stove, but we did finish it up in the toaster oven just to make sure the top was also thoroughly cooked.
It's a double.
Make the trees grow big. Basically everything about Totoro is like the best.
Another one. Do you see another dry one anywhere?
Kind of yellowish
Yeah.
orange. Yeah, look at all the different
Wow.
shades.
Get some fire escapes. Chilindrón is a northern Spanish stew made with lots of peppers and tomatoes, so it's perfect for a cold winter night. It can be made with lots of different meats, but we made ours with ground venison. I love meals where we get to use lots of our preserved ingredients that we grew in the garden earlier that year. Popping open a jar of pimientos and brine takes me right back to harvesting them in the summer sun, and I even found a bag of cherry tomatoes in the back of the freezer. Eating them with a spoonful of stew is not quite the same as popping them into your mouth straight off the vine, but it is still delightful. This stew is pretty simple to put together. After browning the meat and onions, we added several glugs of red wine, lots of peppers and tomatoes, some venison stock, and herbs. It simmered on the stove for about an hour, and then it kept us very warm and satisfied as we ate several bowls of it by the fire. Lots of garlic.
This thing is so fun to cook. They smell so good. Is that just like vinegar? What am I smelling? Why does it smell so
Yeah, there's like garlic and lemon and olive oil and vinegar.
Wow.
It's getting a little hot to stand there, actually. It's looking like more snow and wind may be on the way this week, but with all of our food that we have preserved and our handy wood stove, we're feeling pretty cozy. And a big shout out to our neighbor Jim, who brought over an entire truckload of firewood for us just because he was worried we weren't staying warm enough. That saved us a lot of time tramping around in the cold, snowy woods with a chainsaw. I hope wherever you are, you feel warm and cozy too.